Venomancer.
10 seconds remaining.
You're no sensei, Mike. Stop. Yo. Yeah, you're no
5
sensei to any
seconds
of these
remaining.
people, Mike. Let's get that out of the way. At least
to
know
be
what
fair,
sensei is.
I was the guy back in the I was the guy back in the day that pointed out how bad this Venomancer was.
Radiant team
Like,
ban.
nobody talked about it. I did. I was like, this Venomancer's a losing hero. Now it's not though, Jonathan. He has my permission. He can take it right now. I would say no bad words about it.
Dire
Alright,
team
let's see if they do pick it up. We see the Dusa and Timbersaw band, and we see the Pugna and Inch band, so nothing too spicy coming out yet. IG, who knows, maybe IG's feeling themselves. They pick up the Venom themselves up against Cuckoo. No, they'll go Techies. What a big surprise there.
Yeah, Emo takes the mid Venom and he says, I'm the Cuckoo man. I'm the real
I'd love to
Cuckoo
see that. I don't think it'll happen, Mike, but I'd love to see IG pick up the Venom more than anything else.
10
Oh, that'd be
seconds
hilarious.
remaining.
Let's see the openings. Are we going to go off meta, off the script here,
5
Blacklist,
seconds
or are we going to
remaining.
stick to our guns, look for something like, say, the Undying? Maybe something like, I don't know, a Rubik prioritized here. Still probably the big options available for a safe support opening. Or you could just throw the script out and go Venomancer. And it's all down to whether or not Ninja Boogie actually listens to a damn word you say, Mike. I don't think he does. Neither does Nate. No one listens to us, Mike.
No. Thankfully not. The main
Radiant team
groups
pick.
at the moment. Blacklist, they'll go for the Enigma pickup. That's how they'll start. I'm not sure. You know, you and I, we've talked about this Enigma opening quite a lot, where neither of us are big fans of it. They'll follow up with the Clockwork as well. But talk to me about this opening from Blacklist, John. It's this Enigma, you know, it's so hit or miss. And right now,
10
I feel as though
seconds
every game
remaining.
we watch it's been much more miss.
It certainly has been. This
5
should at
seconds
least be
remaining.
a KP offlane Enigma. I don't think they've ever flexed this on the side of Blacklist. So it should be fairly straightforward. You've got the aura build-up. You can go play greedier as well. We've seen some players still go back for the Midas, play a slower game. Could be the tempo that Blacklist looks for. I like the response from the side of IG, just straight into the Monkey King. So that can be kind of flexed around here for IG. They could choose it as a support, as we've seen a few times, but I honestly wouldn't mind
10
this for
seconds
Dust. I think
remaining.
it does fairly fine into the Enigma lane. It's manageable
5
enough.
seconds
You can
remaining.
maintain your farm. You can clear out Eidolons fairly nicely. So you get a lot of value from just running it there.
Radiant
If
team
that is the way
ban.
they want to go here for Dust. And I wouldn't be too surprised if it was, just because you already see your off-lane
Dire
matchup.
team
Blacklist now
ban.
covering for their Enigma, banning out the Rubik, probably going to have to ban the Silencer as well. And that'll leave a lot of options for IG from, say, their own off-lane pick. I'll leave a lot of options here for Emo as well on the mid lane. So
10
and that's the
seconds
one
remaining.
thing with the Enigma pick, right? Like you prioritize a big core early on here. Like something like
5
the Enigma is
seconds
more worried
remaining.
about supports. So you have to waste your next few bans on supports and just leave so many core
Radiant team
options
ban.
for IG. Stuff like, say, Ember is going to be available. Stuff like, say, flexing the Monkey King into support and going for a Terrorblade is available. You know what? There's a lot to still worry about here on Blacklist's end, and they have to protect the Enigma.
That they do.
Dire
More bans
team
to come.
ban.
They'll get rid of the Broodmother now. IG, one more for themselves, banning out the Muerta just in case, because it is a pretty damn good hero against a hero like Monkey King. Final ban to come from IG.
10 seconds remaining.
Seems like they're just focusing on any position one that the MK may not want to play against.
5
Assuming it
seconds
is an
remaining.
MK pos 1, could be a bit of a flex pick.
I mean, yeah, there's
Radiant
flux.
team
I think
ban.
yeah, they take out the Slark, so again, just maintaining probably something for the Monkey King here. Blacklist, getting in the Eclectic Mix out, Rubik, then the Broodmother. So banning out some Shangya heroes here as well. I'm wondering if, again, you allow Silencer through, then it's going to be pretty awful for Blacklist.
10
Like, this is
seconds
not
remaining.
straightforward any longer for KP until something like a refresh is up.
5
So
seconds remaining.
you'll kind of be forced into really playing a slow game with the Enigma. It just doesn't feel like this hero provides enough laning pressure either. And I think that's one thing with Enigma. It just doesn't
Radiant
pressure
team
lanes the same way
pick.
it used to, with the lack of Eidolon denial and range creep. Your spells are still nice. I suppose with a Clockwork, if that is an aggressive 4 for Tims, you can play with that pretty well. They ban out the Visage, again targeting the offlane. what's the pickup? If you want to take the silencer yourself, you could. Then
10 seconds
Clockwork
remaining.
Silencer is an eclectic support to it. It'll go with Bat Rider pickup first. So I suppose having some flex on hand, you can run the Bat Rider support here. You can run it. They haven't really ran it mid, and again, you already have the Enigma. You can maybe flex the Enigma into support. And there's that silencer we were talking about, left in the pool. IG just take it.
Yeah, that's surprising. Like, considering they ban out all the other Enigma counters, they leave the silencer as now the Storm comes out for Emo. Very strong pick here for IG. Blacklist Rivalry, I mean, 4th pick for themselves now. Pretty awkward scenario now with the silencer in the game. It makes it very hard for both your Bat Rider and your
10
Enigma.
seconds remaining.
Assuming IG are going to be quick on the fingers here with this global silence.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
mean, you do have some decent catch with the clockwork at least. Like the silencer should not have the absolute freest game of his life, but can be rather hard to scout out where the silencer is in the middle of a team fight. It's just interesting to me that Blacklist have put this much like kind of emphasis on Enigma Bat Rider, but they left the silencer.
Dire team
and like,
ban.
I expected that to be banned over the Shangye
Oh.
heroes, so
It's
a
getting
little
worse.
strange. Well, I mean, to be fair, Carl is a puck specialist, right? Like, this is a hero he
Right.
was known for. It feels like he hasn't really popped off in this hero in a while. Maybe, again, he might have done it in Bali and Turtree. Certainly a little
10
bit more of a
seconds
mixed
remaining.
bag. So I'm keen to see what happens here. He should know the
5
limits of this
seconds
hero for
remaining.
sure. That does mean, what are we looking at? What's preferable? I'd say it's preferable. God, everything I'm thinking of saying just sounds bad. Like an offlane Bat Rider for KP, a pause 5 Enigma coming out here for Cuckoo, and a pause 4 Clock for Tim's. Like, that sounds better than Clockwork Bat Rider support duo, which is like really greedy in EXP. At the same time, you're going to have an Enigma 5,
10
so you've got to
seconds
accept that here it's
remaining.
just not going to do much. But at least that forces the silencer into countering a pause
5
5, which
seconds remaining.
isn't as big of a deal, I suppose. I don't know, I'm just really uncomfy with Enigma first pick, and it just doesn't feel like your draft is developing in a way that you'd want it to for Blacklist with this kind of draft.
No, I agree with you. Trying to think of a position 1 now that Blacklist can go for that'll make their draft look a little bit better, because the current draft they have feels like it's just been counted. We'll see. I mean, I do like the puck into the Storm at least. The puck into the Monkey King as well is very nice. Again, it just goes back to that silencer pick that kind of puts a bit of a spanner in the works, but
10
Blacklist
seconds
surely have a
remaining.
plan towards this. I mean, laning-wise, the silencer's not going to be that big of a
5
deal, I
seconds
don't think.
remaining.
If you have a pos 4 clockwork, should be a pretty easy laning stage against the silencer and Monkey King. Shouldn't be too bad. Final bans to come out. Morphling, Doom both being removed here by either side. IG, one more position 1 ban to go before they can finish off their draft.
It's a cheeky option here for Shangye. If it's not banned out, and it probably won't be, something like an Omni Knight could tie in for IG pretty nicely. It gives you a save for the Bat Rider. Doesn't give you any more teamfight control, but you've got a silencer on hand on IG's hand, so you don't really care. And you've got the Storm who can eventually just go for Ags on the Vortex. So you get your AoE control from there. Wouldn't mind something like that for Shangye. Just to have a save from the Bat Rider, have a bailout mechanic, have a pretty strong lane. Omni Knight Techies is a pretty scary lane. They do go this route here for the side of IG. We'll see. They're still waiting on that last ban, figuring out what they want to take away from Raven. I would say the Terrorblade perhaps is maybe one here that you'd want to remove here. Can be pretty annoying for a Monkey King, although you are 2 physical
Radiant
cores
team
with a lot of
ban.
armor. Especially with a Wukong Sup, they'll just take care of the TA instead. So Raven still has his classics Terrorblade to fall back to. Maybe a few illusion heroes as well, in terms of, say, like PL. Could be one way to go about it. Pretty open for Raven to close out at the very
10
least, and they do
seconds
have last pick
remaining.
on Blacklist. They can kind of flex a little bit, I suppose.
5
Although
seconds
there's not
remaining.
much flex left here with these heroes.
No. One more position 3 to ban out. IG.
Dire team.
We'll give it a bit of time. They'll ban out the Tidehunter. IG for their final pick now. Again, the offlane is what they're required. Should have a Techies pos 4, so any offlane's probably going to feel just fine here. Question is it an Enigma position 5? That's my question, right? Because if you know you're going to go up against the Eidolons, you'd rather have a bit of wave clear here and just kind of escalate
5 seconds
off those
remaining.
Eidolons being killed off. Like, I imagine there's no chance we're going to see something like an Axe coming out. We haven't seen LC popping up in the meta, in the pro meta at least.
I'd say an LC fits in pretty nicely though. It does give you, again, another solution for Batrider. Covers both of your bases up against Batrider and the Enigma.
Brilliant team pick.
Wouldn't mind that too much. And they go with Mars instead. That is something that we have seen Xiangye in particular still lean into. That is one way to kind of get some control off, right? Like way of clearing out the Eidolons. Pretty stable in lane still, the Mars is. It shouldn't be too rough for Xiangye depending on his matchup.
10 seconds remaining.
Like the Terrorblade is fairly annoying for Mars. At the same time, it does provide some back and forth play with arena usage. You can block the Terrorblade off from trying to do some damage in these team fights. So you can still utilize this pretty well. For Blacklist, again, it's time to pick what you want as your win condition on Raven. Terrorblade's still available. PL's there if you want to go that route. What else? Is it probably the most stable options here? Maybe a Void? They go with Terrorblade. Classic Raven Terrorblade. I don't know. Like, looking at the Blacklist draft, it has ways to play it. Teams will take the Clockwork, and Cuckoo will definitely take the Enigma. So, it's a KP Batrider off. My big thing is just that I don't know what Enigma does, man, as a support. Like, with a Terrorblade, it's fine, I suppose. You can just Eidolon deny, keep the creep wave constantly shoved in. You can threaten with Malefice, or at least save with Malefice, cutting the Mars from getting aggression. But I don't know. Like, this looks like a very slow, it's moderately slow draft from Blacklist. There's some good tempo that can come out, but Enigma support just doesn't play make. So there's so much pressure on Timson, KP, and Carl to kind of do what they have to do here. And I think that's just too much pressure on these tricores when you're up against a silencer. Once QYQX has his level 6, I mean, this game it's going to be really easy for the side of IG to just run them down here.
I agree with all the points you've made here, John. I'm but
I would say IG. Even though they go back for the Mars for Xiangyu, I think it's... Look, I can believe in Cuckoo Venomancer. Enigma, I just don't believe on anybody. On a positive. It's 5. No, it's not Cuckoo. It's literally Enigma 5. I've been burned by that.
You dare. You dare bad.
Prepare for battle.
Hey, who said I'm Filipino, right? Who says I'm Filipino? I'm just wearing this damn thing. I found it somewhere in some shop as we can get into game number 1 and stop looking at me and my barong and trashing the Filipino teams, please.
Alright, let's go. Game number 1. We can head over to it now. Game 1. There we are. Very good.
Again,
already a smoke out from IG, John. Go on.
The Black Barong in preparation for Morning Light. It's, actually, you don't wear black barongs. You don't wear black barongs. I believe you just wear an actual barongs.
Oh.
I don't even know what this color is for. I don't really know too much about my own culture, Mike.
Okay. Maybe we can find out later on, Jonathan.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, black does seem like an interesting color if it's not for morning.
No, I mean, we just wear the actual full formal barong. Right, you don't wear like these are semi-formal office barongs.
Right.
So you don't wear them in like formal circumstances.
Well, why do you wear an office barong if you've never worked in an office?
Because if I wore the actual barongs, too formal. Remember that time I wore it for some TI qualifier and everyone memed because it's so formal? Yeah, I didn't have anything that. Sorry, guys.
I remember that. They were like, oh, John's going to a wedding after this. That was hilarious. John's getting married after this game. I remember that. That was hilarious. Should wear that again, John. That was a good time. Anyway, free floor banner and trade. Seems like IG got away with the better end of this, Jonathan. They got a 3-for-1 in terms of bounties. Nice little net worth start. So we will get into the lanes. You're going to have bottom lane, of course, Raven on his signature Terrorblade. Going to be up against the Mars of Zhang Yu. And, of course, PYW going to be there on the support techies, along with Bo2 on the support Enigma. Talk to me about this bottom lane, John. How do you expect it to go?
I expect it to actually not be too bad for Raven by the time he level 2. That's when the lane can be a little bit more manageable. Play around with your Metamorphosis. You can do some good damage out on the side of IG. There's a little bit of pressure on Sangya to just manage the wave really well. Now, if they are going for aggression, you can set up for the blast off with a spear back, or you can at least play with the God's Rebuke slow, kind of set up as well. Or PYW, so there's a little bit of back and forth. There's a kill threat for sure onto Raven, but I don't see him overstepping at the very least. And I suppose that's where this lane comes in handy, where Terrorblade up against Mars isn't the worst lane in the world, and Cuckoo can just kind of focus on demonic conversion, spam, pull the wave, try to handle it from a creep management perspective, and just kind of go from there.
On top lane, you saw Tim's being so aggressive on the clockwork. QIQX trying to hold him back. Dust does not want to deal with the level 1 battery assault at the moment. Being very cautious by this creep wave, though Tim's has been super aggressive.
Not gonna happen.
Dust not able to really punish too much with that Jingu Mastery up. Of course, KP seems to be having a pretty alright time on the bat so far. Like, there's really no contest for him at the moment. Again, the clockwork has been doing a good job of zoning out the side of IG, so it should be a pretty decent offlane bat rider game for KP at least.
Yeah, shouldn't be too bad. I think the silencer as a counter to Batrider isn't as pertinent nowadays because you're not spamming sticky napalm. It's not like QIQX can completely zone out here. There shouldn't be too hard of a kill opportunity coming out from Blacklist, but it can certainly happen. You overstep here on Dust, you get trapped up in the cogs with a flame break and Firefly running. KP can gun down for a kill, but otherwise should be a stable farming lane. It should go back and forth. Right now a little bit better for KP, which is a good sign of things to come, but relatively early on in the waves. We can look at mid lane. Emo on his Storm up against Carl on his longtime signature Puck. This lane going very much in Emo's way. I mean, a Puck doesn't outright lose a lane, but it also doesn't really crush a lane either, and that is showing up here. Emo having a better time. Just playing with the remnants, getting some overload off. Carl can clear out the orb. Spam isn't as fast as, say, Storm and his static remnant. Your harassment does not really compare to the Storm, so this should just be a little bit faster for Emo overall.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about signature heroes for Carl. Like, this is a signature hero for Emo as well, right? We've seen so much Emo Storm over the years. There's a hero he feels very, very comfy on to boot. And so far, I mean, it's still a very, very even matchup between these two, as expected.
Radiant's courier was caught in the crossfire.
Every other lane going quite silently right now. Not too much aggression happening in the side lanes at the moment. See, bottom lane, you don't expect too much because it's a Techies versus Enigma support duo. So they've really got to, like, Cuckoo's not giving any kind of opening. He's just hanging by the tier 1 tower. He understands if he takes a sticky bomb with a spear, he's probably just going to melt. So he'll sit back for now. PYW and Zhang Yu will just appreciate the farm they're getting. That top lane, there is a bit of action. Tim's is actually going to go down. First blood to go the way of QIQX. KP unable to assist. They were trying to kill off Dust, but looks like he's going to be salved up and he'll have a full reset in the lane.
Yeah, shouldn't be any big problems here coming out. I mean, you're happy enough with a kill for IG. Kind of want to get going somewhere, and that aggression does kick in for Dust. And he's lagging a little bit behind up against the Batrider in terms of CS, so it was important to get that pick off. You are out of mana now on KP, but he does have early arcane boots up. Should be able to go back into that lane and manage. But yeah, a nice start for IG and at least finding first blood. The lanes a little bit more back and forth, quite even in terms of the CS outside of maybe mid, where Emo has a very, very slight advantage overall. It does feel like both teams will want to play into, at minimum, their level 6 spikes on the supports. So I'm keen to see how much aggression comes out for the runes as QIQX.
Getting jumped a little bit. He's going to be fine though. Will be by the tier 1 tower. Does sub himself up and he'll make it out. Dust even getting a Jingu Mastery on the way out of there. So very, very nice.
for you.
Rotation's coming from Emo, perhaps. Like, he's slowly walking up towards top, but it looks like he was just getting a bounty rune. So not going to rotate. Never mind that. Just farming the jungle while he's at it. Seems like Carl is slowly getting a bit of an advantage here in this mid lane. This top lane, KP goes down. You've lost your Batrider. Dust able to pick up a very nice kill for himself and the Monkey King. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Cuckoo's going down here on the Enigma. It's getting completely dived by IG. PYW may die himself to Raven, but Bosku's going to take it. So a bit of a trade happening, but there's a full creep wave underneath the tier 1 tower. That's just dying without Raven being around. So a bit of a shame here for Blacklist Rivalry. Well, mid lane, a bit of a rotation now as we do have Tims and QIQX hanging around this area. You also have Cuckoo around on the Enigma. Not sure what he's going to offer, but he's here. There's one stun available for him as they do jump Carl, but Carl is trying to bait for his team. Problem is, there's plenty of supports around, but the Cogs pushes him away from the blast off. It's not going to matter though. He will still die. Tims will drop with him. Emo to pick up a double kill.
Come out of that tin can anytime.
And it looked like that was going to be a really nice fight after the blast off was screwed up by the Cogs from Tims. But ultimately, IG was still just the stronger team in the mid lane.
They show up, like Coil comes a little bit late from Carl. Not really able to stop that aggression coming out. Doesn't have enough mana to try and dance around her as well. And IG, again, they just collapse mid and make things happen. I mean, what do you really expect from your support duo here of Blacklist, to be fair?
Not much.
Yep.
Yeah, Zhang Yu might die. Raven trying to keep up the vision, getting body blocked by his own illusion there for a moment as now the God's Rebuke comes out. He's actually making it. Zhang Yu gonna go for the TP and he's out. They can't stop him. Oh, now Bosku's gonna run into PYW. Wisdom Rune's already taken. PYW just gonna slowly but surely chase him down. Not really much Cuckoo can do about this situation. As long as PYW just saves the blast off, you are as good as dead. As now KP goes down top lane. Oh, everyone's dying across the map. There goes Bosku, there goes KP. 1-7 already. The way of IG. Props to them. They are playing a very clean game, but
stupendous.
Yeah, Blacklist, it really does go back to this draft. Their early game is just atrocious.
Yeah, it's just, again, like, that's why I'm not a fan of that Enigma flex. You know, like, you don't have the best auras to fall back to the Enigma now. You can still kind of make it work, I suppose, but I don't know about this hero. It is universal at the very least, but does an Enigma really care about right clicks? Not really.
Oh, QIQX. Hogs out. They might at least find themselves a bit of a freebie. There goes the silencer. Emo will just break the coil and walk away. He's not wasting his time with this. Haste rune's down bottom anyway, so he'll just go ahead and secure that. I mean, you look at the CS board as well. Emo's had a fantastic time. Top of the net worth board, only followed by Dust on the Monkey King. And now they're heading down bottom lane. They know Raven's around that area somewhere. Raven, unsuspecting of this rotation. The wards will come down. They'll see the courier of the Terrorblade. Emo's rushing forward. In comes Dust as well. Raven surely has no way out of this. He could ask for some rotations, but it seems like it's all too late. There's no play out of this scenario. He's just down. Great rotation from IG.
And that's off the back of the sacrifice coming after him from QIQX, giving them the haste rune, getting that rotation out. That sequence of events for Blacklist just not what you want. They commit a lot more, just jumping that rune spot, doesn't get the power rune. It does a lot with that rotation. They at least managed to get a little bit of a deny down bot, so I suppose that is something pleased about, but you're not finding any objective trade here from the side of Blacklist. You still need build up, and KP is trying to rush into the Octarine, but without something like a blink it gets a little bit rough.
Level silence was committed. Emo with the immediate zip in. Blast off there to follow up though. Carl is still alive and now Bosku moving in. A nice dream coil. He's caught 2 targets with that. PYW does go down. Carl still moving forward. Emo, he's going to try and go for this. Carl, have you gone too far? Emo's out of mana though. It was all a bait. Tim's has caught him. He's got him in the cogs and Emo is to drop. As now Zhang Yu does rotate on the Mars. At least finding Cuckoo in that arena. They'll hunt QIQX and now the black hole. Cuckoo, he does not drop. A triple kill for Carl. They had to work for that one, John, but it ends up working the way of Blacklist.
IG get overly aggressive. They actually show zero respect for bump up from Blacklist this time. They start with global silence. They don't find a follow through all too cleanly. It's a little bit of a damage issue coming out when you don't tie in your Mars earlier on. They needed Xiang Ye to show up a lot earlier than he did there. And it pays off this time for Blacklist. Huge kills to come out, huge gold swing their way, evening out the game. And Carl, this time managing to dance around, getting just enough HP to survive through from the initial jump in with a global silence from IG. And again, a little bit of disconnect from IG, just feeling themselves a little bit too much. You get punished. Blacklist, more than happy to pick those pieces up. And all things considered, you are again fairly evenly farmed across the board with these core to cores here.
Top lane, KP is going to be targeted. Has the lasso if he needs to commit. Spear doesn't land. Oh boy, the spear does not latch onto a tree. They're going to find KP, but now the 2-man dream coil. They'll go after Emo. He's got no mana. Very awkward scenario now for Emo as he tries to run, but Tims will lock him down. He'll have a little bit more mana to play with, but the chase is on. Emo about to fall. The puck not going to jaunt though. He won't go into 3 heroes. Carl will back his way out. His Dust now going to rotate. We'll move in onto Tims. Tims with the cogs going to push him back. Spear again not going to latch onto anything. But they'll get the kill. Tims to drop. Blacklist will find nothing.
Yeah, they don't manage to get any punishment off Emo this time, hanging on a sliver of HP to get that done. They are having to drag Dust in early as the Monkey King. But it does look like IG wants to play a more aggressive game. They are going for the Echo Saber build on Dust. So do you want to kick tempo up? They want to prevent that farm game from coming from Blacklist. Basically, they want to prevent the Southeast Asian teams from playing slow. Let's see.
That's right. We will see soon, John. I mean, there's a double damage at the bot rune spot. Looks like Emo's going to go ahead and take that one for himself. No contest here from the side of Blacklist's end. 1k advantage for IG. They're going to smoke up. Why the hell not? Move down towards the bottom lane and see if you can find Raven. Raven is showing on the creep wave all by himself at the moment. It's not too hard of a kill to take if you get the stun initiation first. So they are moving towards the west instead. They'll find Tim's on the clockwork and they'll take that kill. So perhaps smoke was just broken and Raven may have got the memo. But Tim's is the one to be sacrificed.
Does open up an angle for IG to just take out mid. They don't have a siege creep, but they have all their heroes here, so might as well get that clearing out. Dust, in the meanwhile, just farming up top. We'll have his Echo Saber flying out now. So you are finding some key early timings coming out for IG. Cuckoo, he's got his full solar crest up, so he can provide a little bit towards his allies here in the middle of these fights. I'm wondering if he's going to go for, say, a Blink BKB rush, perhaps, this game up against the Silencer. To try to get off bigger black holes. Doesn't feel like it's necessary for the side of Black yet. The gun for that big wombo combo, but certainly is one of the reasons why you'd want the Enigma. I mean, outside of just playing with the Eidolons, I suppose. We shall see. IG still in a comfy spot in this game. Again, a lot more back and forth. They've given a couple of openings after Blacklist. Tim's.
Yeah, QIQX looks like a free kill here for Blacklist Rivalry. They'll take it. That sort of set up from Tim's. Nothing to really write home about, just an easy position 5 kill as top lane, Cuckoo. Wukong's command committed here from Dust. KP is around, knocking him out, but not quite. Now the lasso to drag out the position 1 Monkey King. Dust is going to go for the fight. Cuckoo moving back in, does go for the black hole. He's got him locked down. Dust though is healing up, but it's not enough. He is down. Good turnaround here from Blacklist. You'll happily lose Cuckoo if it means Dust dying.
A little bit greedy out from Dust. Couldn't get that last bit of Jingu off on the Enigma, so he has to chase out KP. Tries to fight under the flame, under the Firefly, just not enough sustain coming out with a level 2 Jingu. So not enough. Lifesteal coming through and good punishment. Again, good spell stacking coming out here, although
Mid lane. Oh, Emo. That's very aggressive from Emo. Coil committed. They are still trying onto Tims, but Raven is coming in. Global Silence has been popped. Emo will break the coil and looks like he should be just fine. As IG, they are really grouping up now. Nice tree break from Cuckoo. Arena down though. Zhang Yu setting up onto Raven. Raven needs a Sunder. He'll get it off in time, but he's still in huge danger. The balance will get it done. Meanwhile, Tim's to move back in. Cuckoo goes down. That's a second down for Blacklist Rivalry. Zemo's moving on to Carl. Carl trying to find a way out of the puck, but the chase is still ongoing. Zhang Yu's gonna be there. Dust will cut off the jaw with the orb, and Carl, he is set to die. There is no chance. IG taking a very strong team fight in the mid lane, finding 4, even getting a buyback out from Tims. And Blacklist, they will find 0 punishment towards IG.
and that's one issue with Blacklist Raft. But we did mention to find these kills, there's not really too much pressure for Cuckoo to get the black hole off. But while black hole's down, when IG do decide to clump up, you do not have much to play with. Right, you only really have coil. There's no real follow through to that. Maybe you get a flame break to break the coil. That's a bit optimistic coming out from Blacklist. Whereas for IG, they've got pretty low cooldowns in the arena. You can always pump that out. You've always got Dust, who can go for the Wukong's play as well, tying into the arena with the circles, and they can just run you down that way. So Blacklist, they are not too far out, and you're still getting decent build up on Raven, going for the Manta, so he's got protection up against that Global Silence, and straight into the BKB. Understanding that the control from IG is really the big issue here for the Terrorblade. So he will just want to ride a little bit more defensively and build up. Damage not really a concern for the side of Blacklist here. IG though, and as this game scales on, it gets harder and harder to manage. Ooh.
Yeah, Zhang Yu, nice little sidestep. Gonna go for the TP out. Cuckoo's gonna be there with the cancel though, so Zhang Yu not gonna make it. A nice pick off now for Blacklist Rivalry.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, they seem to excel in these single types of pickoffs. It's the team fights where Blacklist are really struggling. Just lacking so much more control, especially once the black hole is down. And of course, you can't even rely on that because Cuckoo doesn't have a blink or BKB yet as bottom lane. Mobile Silence committed. They've got Carl. Carl getting caught mid-yules is going to drop. Not good news for Blacklist.
Definitely not. IG, they're trading a couple of cores out. You're more than happy to find Carl in exchange for Xiangyu though, as the puck is a bigger priority. You know, Carl, if he does manage to farm up into, say, his Blink, into his Sanj, then he becomes very hard to pin down. Great use of the Orchid coming out here from Emo. Blacklist, they're trying to use this space while they have it. Cuckoo's just farming up around top, sneaking away some gold, working towards that Blink dagger. So you will have the Blink black hole threat coming out here from Blacklist relatively soon. And to be fair, IG, again, they're sort of reliant on Global Silence as their counter control. Maybe you can offer Spear back, but
mid lane, Emo, no, he's not going to get trapped by the lasso. Now the black hole though, Cuckoo, he's looking to save the day, fighting a 3-man. Emo goes down. They will lose both their supports for this. KP, he's still got the lasso. Zhang Yu, he's in the middle of nowhere. He'll go for an arena and a spear out, but it means nothing. Cuckoo saving the day for Blacklist once again. Carl, he might drop Dust, can't finish the kill. KP to move in, but just sidesteps. PYW even dropping low, not gonna go down. As Blacklist, they do successfully retreat after taking a successful team fight. And I'll tell you what, John, as much crap as we've talked about this Enigma pick, Cuckoo's making it work.
it certainly is. I'm a bit surprised Dust didn't go for the instant boundless. Was it on cooldown when he TP'd in? Just not getting that instant cancel? It looked like he wanted to build up the Jingu first. Use it like before TPing in just to farm, I suppose. Then, like, it looked awkward. Yeah, and again, for IG, they're very reliant on Global Silence to kind of break off that black hole. Cuckoo That's him without the blink, finding that angle there, and once that blink is up, it starts to get a little bit awkward for IG. It's all down to execution, and so far Blacklist has shown us they can execute as just as well as IG can, which is probably why both sides are in this current position with their scoreline. Just a very even matchup across the board. You start to get concerned about Raven getting bigger. The BKB being farmed up now ahead of the Manta, so just again wanting that protection here. Dust going for that same build-up as well. Has a Maelstrom up to at least keep up and farm on the Monkey King. Blacklist, and they're staying in it. As long as they can kind of punish the clump up from IG, if IG just forgets there's an Enigma, things can fall apart pretty fast in these fights.
I mean, you are approaching the point where Raven's going to have the BKB into the Manta very soon.
Looking for me?
It'll be a big timing for him. Mind you, BKB also coming on Dust rather soon than the Monkey King. And Dust has not had the most successful time in these engagements, so he's 5-1-7. Top of the net worth board. It's very hard for the Monkey King because every time you pop that Wukong's, KP is going to be looking for the lasso to push you out of it. So the Wukong's not really doing much work at all. Speaking of the devil, KP just farming the jungle for now. Seems like Blacklist are the kind of team in this kind of game that are more than happy to drag it out. Because you do get to a point where eventually the Enigma starts to feel like more like a position 3 once you have the Blink BKB up. You still have a Puck, you still have a Terrorblade, you still have a Batrider. Like, all your spells are still very useful as time goes on. Suppose the same could be said for IG though. Like, you are still up against the Storm, for example, who's going to be a problem. Especially once you get into the real late stages of the game. Bottom. PYW just going to solo push here with the proximity mines.
Dire's middle tower is under
A bit of damage off onto the tier 2 bottom tower. Nothing to write home about, but it's at least forcing Tims to stick around this area.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And IG, they look pretty happy to just sit back and relax as well. They're not too interested in trying to force any fights yet. All their spells are up, but it seems like they want to farm up the BKBs before they get going. Like, they do have their BKB on Dust now, but they're going to smoke without it. IG as 4 will run through the river towards the mid lane. It looks like they'll head up top lane through the river. The only person around is Cuckoo, who they could try to pick off, and Cuckoo is already making his way back. So it seems like they're very well aware that the smoke might be happening, but now Carl, Carl gets silenced up. Emo, he's going to move the other way and finds the Puck, and Carl is gone. The Orchid from Emo, way too quick on Carl, and he just does not react in time.
Tries to hold onto that Yules for a bigger spell use, but the rest of IG are ready to back up Emo there. Finally getting some chain stuns off. You find a nice pick off. 12-20 IG. That's what we have to keep seeing from them. You know, just coordinated movement out, not a movement out of a staggered response from the cores. I think you have to see the chain stuns come through onto something like the Puck. You have to kind of save at least this one disable to take care of Bosku if possible, and you can kind of get things rolling from there. 4K lead comes back up for IG, and they've got a couple of fresh BKBs on hand. They have a BKB coming out for Seangye, so that should be pretty impactful for our Mars as well. And they'll just get started on that tier 2 down bot. Kind of funny to see as well sometimes, you know, when you're not in these fights and your supports are, they get higher levels than you. PYW is 14. Yeah, he's still 13. So that's techies for you.
That is techies.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tier 2 towers being traded. Bottom tier 2 is going to go down for Blacklist Sen, but they'll focus the top tier 2 tower. No defense really incoming from IG. Looks like they're just maybe going to set up... Oh, no, there's a 4-man smoke. Maybe the Twin Gates is where they'll go.
Top tower has fallen.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Gotta be careful. BKB is now available on Emo as well. So 2 9-second charges now on Blacklist as they are moving into that dire jungle. Dust's gonna find KP. KP trying to run the other way, pops his own BKB, and immediately just TP's out as they cannot cancel. The smoke rotation not really working in IG's favor. Suppose they do at least force a BKB out, but that's about it. They won't get much else out of this.
And that's still it's something to force out. That's a 9-second charge of KP disappearing. So you can maybe find yourself an opening here if you are on IG's end. Your mid tier 1 still standing at 30 HP, not going for the deny just yet. Could easily do so. Blacklist enjoying the farm game, and as this game scales on, it does feel like the Terrorblade starts to really become an issue for a Monkey King who isn't in the farming build, although, again, with a Maelstrom more than enough to keep up. I think what gets scary is, say, the Blink BKB of Cuckoo starts to become a really massive threat. The Blink Lassos out from KP become a threat as well. Like, everything is kind of lining up for the side of IG, and for Blacklist, they're happy to kind of just play hit and run right now. IG have to kind of kick up the pace. Although again, it doesn't seem like they're under too much pressure with their own BKBs. With the farm coming out from your Monkey King, you might be more than happy, but it's not as easy to take these later fights as it was for these earlier fights.
Comes Roshan. Going through the twin gates. Carl's going to stun himself on the Roshan for a moment. The Blacklist, they really don't want to let this go for free. Like, they want to contest. They are TPing up towards the top tier 1 tower. IG
tower is under attack.
about halfway through the HP pool of Roshan.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gather round.
And it's up. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Blacklist is still moving forward though, not trying to back their way out of this one. They've got the upper hand. Dust, BKB, trying to run, trying to get out. He'll tree dance. In the meantime, QX is the one to get caught. They'll lose the silencer. That is about it. Of course, Tims did die at the start of that team fight. He bought back for this one. Roshan now open for Blacklist. IG, it's their move to make.
This is a hard fight to take now. We still have Black Hole ready on Blacklist, but they opt to back off. They don't want to force the Roche too hard. Rather surprising, IG, their jump in was a little bit messy as well. They tried to instantly jump onto the Batrider, onto the Clockwork. They find a clock kill, they don't find a Batrider. They're not able to cut down Cuckoo as well, so they instantly pop Global Silence, but they have to declump because of the threat of the Black Hole coming out is way too big. Just awkward overall from IG. They stood under that Roche pit, under the flare vision for quite some time. And when they cross that border, it's emote to zip all the way across, but Cuckoo follow through with him.
Cuckoo, he's in the middle of nowhere. Cuckoo, what are you doing? He went for a bounty rune. Cuckoo! What? What? He's just... Can you explain that to me, Jonathan? Why did Cuckoo do that? He just went for a bounty and tried to away. Like, a Roshan's up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, the rest of his team backed off. Maybe
Yes,
should
they
have
did.
opted to back off earlier, but I suppose, you know, wanting to play for the team, give them a little bit of gold, doesn't mind dying, takes the risk. I mean, we hit him dead. All those points about Black Hole is a moot point, so they can go back in on the side of IG. I'm just surprised Blacklist moved that way. They don't fully commit to Roche. They know they still have Black Hole versus no silencer.
Well,
And now Roche can still go to IG.
5 seconds for Cuckoo to be back. They're moving their way up top lane, but the rest of the team needs to get there. Everyone needs to get there right now. IG is still focusing Roshan. It is a slow process though. They've got nothing like a Dessa to work off. In they go. Who do they find first? KP, not going to be targeted yet. In fact, Carl's the one to go down.
And it's up.
Roshan still happening.
Dire's bottom tower
And now, I mean, unless you go for a hook shot in to try and steal, it seems like Blacklist have given up.
Yeah, nah. I don't know how that happens. Like, they've got the flare vision. It's Carl walking up to the ramp, and he doesn't manage to get the ults off, so the chain control just comes in. Again, he's holding on to the ults as his only dispel.
Where's the party?
KP's in the middle of nowhere, John. He's going to have to BKB TP out. He was creep skipping the top lane to try and avoid the tier 1 top tower going down. does get away with it. I mean, it's just...
Dyer's top tower is
Yeah,
under attack.
I'm really not sure what that puck death was about right there. Even Cuckoo's death on the bounty, that was very confusing. Very confusing.
That's not where the confusion starts. I think it starts in the post-Roche fight. No, like,
Yeah.
after the fight, they just retreat. Like, why? You had Black Hole. You know Global Sounds was down for a little bit longer with a respawn. You know you could have threatened. They respect the mobility of the Monkey King and the Storm way too much. They don't have vision control over Roche, so they're like, alright, we're just not going to do it. But then Cuckoo still sticks around. And, Carl jumps in to scout for the team off the rocket flares instead of playing with a hookshot to start. Holds on to the ults again, waiting for the bigger spells, but the chain stunter's there. And IG just come out on top, taking their own Tormentor now. You've got the full Mjolnir coming out soon for Dust. He's got the Basher ready for some control through these BKBs. And the answers are starting to farm up here. IG getting scarier and scarier. We're getting into the point where Lincoln's is going to come out for Emo. He has his BKB in the backpack, having to hold the gem and the Aegis, of course. He's more than happy to have priority on all of this. For Blacklist, they're not out yet. 4K lead's not unplayable. You're getting some decent build-up in Raven, who has his full butterfly up, but
This'll come in handy.
and it feels like they can't allow these opportunities to slip by them. You know, like, they've got to take every single advantage they can, and missing out just makes the game a lot closer than maybe it should have been off the back of that good Roche fight.
Damage.
The top lane, Emo trying to get Cuckoo. Cuckoo being targeted, gets the Vortex off in time. The Enigma also being silenced, but the Ogre Seal Totem allowing some space, but there's Zhang Yu, ensuring that Cuckoo is not getting away.
Surprised by this is you.
Emo still has the Aegis, so he's more than happy to play these riskier kind of engagements. Blacklist, they're gonna smoke up as
Radiant's tower
3.
is under attack.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
That nobody's around this area though. They're just trying to hunt through the dire triangle.
Has fallen.
While that was happening,
Dyer's
Blacklist
middle
took the
tower
top
is
tier 1
under
tower.
attack.
Excuse me, IG took the top tier 1 tower as Blacklist are trying for the bottom tier 2.
Dyer's middle tower
But
is
it seems
under
like they're just happy to trade on IG's end of things. Like, we'll just take the bottom tier 2 tower, or maybe not. Maybe they'll defend. They do have the Aegis. Raven
Radiant's
immediately
top
jumped
tower
here by
is under
Dusk, gonna BKB TP out, and now the hookshot is there from Tims. They're trying to fight. It seems Tims is gonna give his life
Middle
away.
tower is under attack.
Props to Tims, John. I didn't see that Dust had a basher. That's why he went for the hookshot.
Yeah, he's had that for a while. Now with the full Mjolnir up, he's got the attack speed to back that up. Pretty heads-up play from Tims to get the cancellation off. IG, though, and they lose a tier 2. You're finding a lot on Blacklist, considering this game state. You still have, theoretically, you have map control advantage. With 2 tier 2 still standing, you have a little bit more reach into your triangle right now. IG can't play off the back of that control yet. They need to clear out one of these tier 2s, even out the game. It's just still running for a minute and a half here. Full BKB being up on Cuckoo. That's going to be the X factor. You have to watch your global sounds usage here from QIQX.
Mid lane, Carl misses a Dream Coil. Zhang Yu with the quick blink out. Zip forward, because he's still hanging around.
Are we mega kill territory
Radiant's
here?
middle tower is
All right.
under attack.
What's the
Oh, Carl.
Big smile on your big dumb
It's just not good. It's just not good. Mid tier 2 tower's gonna go down.
Their structures.
Because the thing, you miss the Dream Coil. You see Dust, you see Zhang Yu. Why stay there? You know, you've got to get out. ID are playing as a
middle
team.
tower has fallen.
Mid tier 3 tower now gonna be under siege.
Yeah, they've got some damage to pump out. Age is still up for a little bit of time, but not too long for Emo, so has to watch himself a bit. High ground hold from Blacklist is pretty damn good. You do have an Enigma, you do have a Terrorblade, you've got Lasso Threat from KP, so they can indefinitely hold and see how much of a Southeast Asian game we get. Smoke out from Blacklist though, looking to make something happen.
Isn't it crazy that, like, you know, like, we used to say SEA games were like the hypest, most entertaining games, and now every time I talk to you, you just told me that they're a snooze fest.
It's been really bad, Mike. I swear to
Whoa, what'd I
God.
miss?
Tour 1, Tour 2, Tour 3, every tour has been honestly pretty atrocious. And for a lot of the teams in Southeast Asia. I don't know what happened.
Over here now.
No, you look at Blacklist and you tell me this lineup a year ago was a bad lineup.
Zap.
You couldn't say that. This tour,
Well.
this year? Well,
Zhang Yu gonna get jumped. middle of nowhere, has no teammates around him. They are trying to move up now. He'll drop an arena with the BKB. He's surviving longer than expected. Zhang Yu holding them down. He will finally drop himself, but a big blast off. PYW going into Bo2, but he gets the BKB off, and now Emo. He'll zip away from the Enigma. Afraid of that black hole with a big balance strike. Carl's gonna go down in the meantime. Hims, chase down, will drop. Now KP getting bashed, and Bo2. One by one they come in, and one by one they fall. In goes Raven. Global Silence was still up, and he just dies.
That is a triple kill.
Oh, man. Cuckoo is looking for that black hole angle from low ground with BKB. Fades away.
Someone's gonna get QIQX though. He can't pop it without Global Silence being used.
Yeah, but that's the issue. You were all clumped up in the arena. You know, it's just down to how Zhang Yu plays. He goes up front. He doesn't die. He manages to get the spear. He traps them in the arena. They don't want the BKB to run out of arena. So IG has ample time to clump back up, retake that fight, start to pick off onto Blacklist. Carl dying this fast is just, it's uncharacteristic for him on his puck. But again, considering what's been happening in DCPC, I suppose this is par for the course, unfortunately, for Blacklist. And IG, off the back of that, they take a tier 3. They don't push their luck here. Not going fully onto the high ground, but look at this itemization, Mike. A hex up for Zhang Yu, a hex up for Emo, just even more chain control to come out, even more ways of stopping Carl from just trying to dance around as a puck here. And if Carl can't dance around as a puck, if he can't be disruptive into the backline, if he can't jump that silencer, then you're relying on either Tims or KP to do that. KP wants to lasso someone bigger. Tims can't kill the silencer at this point.
Rock it on.
So it has to be the puck somehow.
Big group up top lane. Zhang Yu is looking for the initiation of the Mars. IG, in fact, they're going to back off now. They've got so much control though, like double scythe device on Emo and Zhang Yu. It's so hard
Boom, there it goes.
with this much control from IG to actually fight back. Like once these BKBs wear off on Blacklist, it's all over. Like there's just too much control. And the durations are getting lower and lower here on Blacklist. It does feel like the kind of game where if you're Blacklist, you need to be the one making the jump. You can't wait for IG to come to you.
Under attack.
But that's kind of just been the case. IG's always the one initiating instead. And in fact, it looks like it's going to happen again because there's a 5-man smoke up. Blacklist seem to be very well aware the smoke probably happened because they did have the vision in that area. So they definitely know smoke is up for IG. So they will back towards the base. They won't give anything away. Just some Terrorblade illusions by the looks of it down at bottom lane. Blacklist now, they're going to go for the smoke. But it seems like it might be a smoke to relocate. Just to be able to get some farm going. I don't think they're looking for a fight.
We can maybe get some D-wards going, and they will, so that reveals their smoke. Side of IG, just take the gate across. Roshan a minute away. It is going to be a nighttime spawn up top. Blacklist. If they can take that Roche fight somehow, that's where things can turn around, but you don't have a blink up on Cuckoo yet. You don't have that follow through, you don't have that way of just fighting into that global silence. IG's been a lot more patient with the global silence here as well. At the very least, Raven, he's still farming like a madman. Right behind Dustin Farm. Scotty up. So the TB is a pretty massive issue. It's just that he doesn't have the space to become a massive issue, you know? He can't just stand there with Metamorphosis and hit away. All the control coming out from IG, they're splitting up the fight really well and just taking care of the heroes around the Terrorblade. Just ensuring that he can't clean up.
Is under attack.
Quickly as I go.
Still waiting for Roshan, 15 seconds away.
Dire's
Blacklist.
middle tower has fallen.
They're farmed up. They're 18k behind though. Like IG are just so much more farmed. So here we go. The 4-man smoke up towards the north. They'll need to get towards that Roshan pit. But look at IG. Look at the way they've just mined this whole Twin Gate area. Like there's no way to surprise them. They'll have the first dibs on Roshan.
Dire's middle tower
It's so hard to
is
fight in
under
this area now with all the proximity mines just sitting there waiting. And these are level 3 mines, so they do 750 damage each. It's a lot. Quite easy to blow yourself up if you blink right into the high ground. KP's gonna find out the hard way. He'll rotate around. There's the mines giving the info over to IG, who are still waiting for the proper initiation. Zhang Yu's trying to move in, but a nice lasso. KP, he found the Storm Spirit. Emo is gone. Emo is down without buyback. This is the team fight that Blacklist have needed for such a long time. They're moving with the Dream Coil. Meanwhile, Dusty's going to try and fight, going on to Cuckoo, finding the Enigma. Onto Raven. They want the Terror Blade. Raven, he's going to sunder up in time. Raven is all right. Dust will run. He'll just jump through the tree line and get out of there as QIQX going to be left behind. Does go down. Blacklist, they have Roshan. There is no way for IG to contest.
Certainly not. Nice clean Roche coming out now for Blacklist. A really good flank coming out on that angle. All down to this chain control onto Emo. And Emo again just getting maybe a little bit hasty here. Let's get punished for it. Roshan and she's going the way of Blacklist. They're staying in this game despite being 17k behind. They have managed to make it work. It's IG who slip up. And now, with a security on Raven, with a cheese on Carl, can actually start to threaten high ground with a little bit of a shove in. IG have to be super cautious. Like, you can't afford to have Emo up front like that. It's almost the same way that Carl made a mistake in Roshan earlier.
Oh, Cuckoo.
Where he just started these fights.
He's gonna find Zhang Yu. Cuckoo's going for the chase. He's got Carl around him. Dreamcore committed. They will find the Mars. Zhang Yu gonna get black hole by Cuckoo. No hesitation. Takes him down. It's another nice pick off, though. Zhang Yu at least has the buyback if he needs it, but he won't. He'll be up in 60. I don't think he'll be required to buy back in this game. So now IG, their net worth lead is lowered down to 12k. With the Aegis up on Blacklist, they should be able to close that gap a little bit more as they found another. They have found the techies. One by one, IG beating lives back the way of Blacklist. They will cancel the blast stop. Nice timing from KP. And now PYW's down. Maybe we are going to need to see some buybacks.
Looking like they might need it. I think just with Global Silence, it's still pretty playable. They have to come for the high ground defense. They can't play around here. There's still there's no threat of black hole from Cuckoo, so honestly you don't have too much to be scared about here. On the side of IG, you just need to be worried about KP.
Emo's got to be so cautious, John. Emo, he does have buyback at least. That's the one positive. If he dies again, he does have the buyback available for IG, but he's such a big part of this team. I feel like Emo's more important than Dust is right now as he jumps in. KP's been caught out. 4-star away with the Glimmer Cape. He's going to be fine. Meanwhile, Cuckoo being targeted. He has no black hole anyway. Dust, he'll take down Tim's. Cuckoo will go down to Xiao Yu. And IG, they have successfully defended the bottom lane. That there is only a melee barracks left, but they'll take that as a win.
Yeah, it's a nice take. You're not dropping too far behind an IG. You really wanted to find that kill onto KP, but there's not enough reach coming out there to stop. Again, a little bit far forward from Emo, and that IG wasn't quite ready to instantly capitalize on his control. Still Blacklist. And they don't lose Aegis, they don't lose Cheese, they lose their two supports. Not the biggest deal in the world. IG still have to play moderately cautious here, as one bad team fight can actually spell the end of their time in Bali, and all they'll look for in the second game. Again, the loser here, either way, is only playing to ruin the other team's chance of a tiebreaker.
That's right.
That's it. It's all about dragging them down. It's the crab mentality that we're known for in Southeast Asia. We'll
The most important mentality, John.
Crabs come out.
If you can't move your way up, John, you've got to bring everyone down with you. That way you just set the bar lower. You know? IG, they can go home with their heads held up high, knowing they're the heroes of their country, taking down Cuckoo. The IG. Preparing in their base. Maybe a smoke rotation to come from IG. Oh, there's your blink up on Cuckoo now. Lincoln Sphere built up on Emo. He just wants to try and avoid getting locked down by the lasso of KP. But they won't know about the blink on Cuckoo. That's going to be a big itemization here for Cuckoo. If he can get the surprise reveal with a big black hole, this game could be turned upside down for IG. Aeon Disc built up on Jiang Yu as well. It's just more defensive itemization from Invictus Gaming. Here we go. Big group up mid lane. Blacklist are moving up towards the river. They'll pop a 5-man smoke. IG currently hanging right in front of their base in the mid lane. Blacklist, they're going to rotate through the Diet Triangle. They'll run right into Zhang Yu very soon, but they won't see him. Instead, a lasso's out. They have caught PYW on the techies. PYW trying to blast off, will not be able to get off yet as the Dream Call does come out. Only finding the techies with that. Meanwhile, Tim's has been caught in the clockwork. He's the one to go down. And PYW survives. The Glimmer Cape, it just allows him to walk out. Now Cuckoo breaks the Lincolns of Emo. In comes Zhang Yu. He found the puck with the Hex out. Spear into the arena. Oh, Carl, can you get out? Black hole there, but Cuckoo, no, it's cancelled. It is cancelled. The global silence was immediate. No black hole left. Carl is still trying to survive. He'll orb away. Meanwhile, PYW is being chased down by KP. They are still trying for this techies. As Carl will finally drop. Dust will find a second. He's got Tim's again on the clockwork. That's a dieback. Raven's forced to fight. Dust is moving right up though. They've got the Hex out on the Terrorblade. He's got no help around him. Carl, or Cuckoo rather, I mean, they are trying to save Raven. Raven is just left alone. though. Raven can't survive this. Raven's down. And what do you do? It's a messy team fight. Like, just the start, trying to kill PYW. And just one Glimmer Cape from QIQX saves the day.
I'm just so surprised. They've had gems up for a little bit here. Maybe KP just out of vision. They don't manage to get the damage off. Now a shove in on mid. It's a buyback ready on Raven, but he doesn't have Metamorphosis.
Dip in. Yeah, they've got KP now. Hex out again. Scythe of Vice is there. 4-man Dream Core from Carl, but where's the follow-up? They're in the Midnight Pulse, at least it's a lot of damage. In they go with the lasso. Try to drag him towards the fountain. They've got Dust on that Monkey King. Dust dropping very low, trying to deal with them. Raven's still going. Raven's got him. They've got the Monkey King down. PYW now being targeted. Gets the blast off. Orb is there from Carl. He'll keep following down. Zhang Yu, he'll pop the BKB and just TP out of there. PYW is going to be the sacrificial lamb for IG. They'll leave him behind, knowing they cannot save. So Blacklist, all of a sudden, able to defend high ground.
That is also quite messy coming out from IG. Pretty deep chase and another good repositioning play coming out from the side of Blacklist. IG don't even manage to take the racks off of that, so now they're stuck in a weird position. They did force out 4 buybacks. Well, 3 buybacks here. So one more fight for Blacklist and this can go southbound. You still have the buyback ready on your Monkey King as well. They're clearing out the waves with Emo, just doing Storm Spirit things. He does go for the 2x overload attack bounce. Just wants a little bit more in clearing out here.
Incoming!
Raven has to be so cautious. He has a DD up, Metamorphosis in a few seconds, but this is it. This is his buyback. If he dies here, IG can just run down mid and end the game.
Yeah, they can. Oh, they're trying to look for the Storm. Unable to catch Emo. However, Lasso, KP, he's got Zhang Yu. They have found the Mars, but the Aeon Disc is going to save. So yules him up. They've still got an opportunity as Tim's going to hookshot him, pushes him back. Zhang Yu is down. He's got buyback though. Beautiful setup here from KP.
Dire structures are
The mid racks, they will lose the range. Onto the melee barracks they go. Raven will just let the illusions do the work. But it seems as though they are not confident here, Blacklist. They are looking to perhaps retreat unless they can catch Emo on that Storm. But it's really challenging to do so when he's got Lincolns and BKB up. Like, KP has Lasso available again, but he needs to break the Lincoln Sphere. He's looking for another target. PYW gonna have the Lotus Orb, so he's not gonna get caught by the Lasso. And it seems like Blacklist, they may just have to leave. Maybe play for the next Roshan.
Yep. It's an objective that they will want anyway as a safety net. They need an Aegis up and running on Raven, although Transformation Hero is not the best with the secondary life, but he does have the refresh. It's not all too bad here. The side of IG, again, just not respecting Blacklist enough, like the rocket flare vision more than enough to
Dire's
lock
bottom
in
barracks are
Sangye.
under attack.
And that is, yeah, they've got burst damage on hand, not the most durable right now on that Mars here. They, on the side of IG, they need to reel in some of that aggression, man. They're diving pretty hard, giving these opportunities to Blacklist. One team fight is all it'll take. You know, if they can catch out Raven, can catch out a few of these buybacks, then you're in a strong position for IG to just end the game. But now Blacklist get to play this rat game. Just shove out with the Raven illusions. Really durable right now with all the stats they have on hand.
4-man smoke from IG. 16k advantage is still their way, but it's really anyone's game now. They are heading towards KP on the Batrider, running through the dire jungle. KP will be able to back his way out. Speaking of KP, John, like if you want to pick any player on Blacklist that's been doing the greatest job, I think KP's the one, right? Like all these lassos he's been finding throughout this game has just been fantastic. Let's say he's probably the most stable player on the team right now.
Yes, definitely. That's really been the sense since the DPC tour. And KP just rejuvenated the side of Blacklist. He is still showing stellar performances here as well. Going on to the Ags, the double lasso is going to be pretty painful. From how IG's positioned, shouldn't be too hard as well to find that double lasso. Emo
Top lane,
could
bottom.
get caught with a smoke.
Bottom. Can they break the Lincolns though?
Stay near.
They're gonna jump in. Carl is there. Dream call, and now the Lincolns is broken. They've got the global chance to play off, but still Emo is gonna get dragged back through the lasso. They've got the storm down. Though he does have buyback, but Tims, he wants to keep going. He misses out on the hook shot with Dust, but the chase is on. Blacklist, they will try to find some more targets as Roshan is now officially respawned up. There's the buyback from Emo. He's coming in. They've got Carl with a hex out. Carl, not like this. Aeon Disc is there though. It will save for now.
Under attack.
The puck is fine. IG still hanging around the Roshan pit. They are going to start it. They will force the fight with Blacklist Rivalry. The question is, can Blacklist really fight back? Well, they've got to try. This Roshan's too important. There's an Axe Blessing on Roshan to boot. They'll move in. Lasso's there. They've got the Monkey King. KP again, finding the right target. He'll try to move on to Dust into the black hole. It's cancelled off again from the Silencer. The Global Sun's making it so hard for Kuku. They will lose KP. IG moving back in for Roshan. It is still available to try and steal. They've got the hook shot from Tims. Tims is lining up. He's going to try for this one. In they go. Hook shot is there. 4-man start out. The Aegis on the deck, but Dust has got it. Still manages to pick it up. Perfect timing from Tims, but they just surrounded the Roshan. Could not pick up the Aegis. Did he get anything?
He got the Axe.
He got the Axe Blessing.
Yeah, at the very least you have that going for yourself here. Ags out onto Raven would be pretty nice, or even Cuckoo. You want to really utilize the black hole here, but let's see where the priority lies. Ags just left in the fountain for now. Big opening found here for the side of IG. They've got a cover for Dust. Mind you, Emo did buy back, and he doesn't have the Aegis, so it's a little bit awkward here for the Storm for sure. As one death, and again, IG can still find themselves with their backs against the ropes. See if they can use this opening. Arcane Rune to find here for Emo as well. Feeling pretty chuffed about that. It's honestly a really big Ags to steal from Blacklist, because if you handed an Ags over to Emo with the AoE Vortex, this game is just done. I think it's just over at that point. So a good steal out from Tims to still stall out. The respawns aren't too far off now as well.
Here we go though. They're going to jump in through the mid lane. IG. They're waiting for their creep wave, but it's here. Carl going to start. Cuckoo getting caught. Aeon Disc is proc though, so he's going to try to run. Very aggressive with the Midnight Pulse. Does not have Black Hole on the Enigma yet, but they're just trying to deal with this creep wave. The mid-range Rax is gone. IG will focus on the melee barracks. They will find that too. The Cuckoo jumps in again. 3-man coil is there from Carl. But the Hex is out. Hookshot, Tims will find Dust. They've got the Monkey King, but he does still have the Aegis up. Dust, however, melting to the damage output as now the lasso comes out. KP, he found 2 targets. PYW, he's the first one to go down. They've lost the techies. Emo, he's going to jump in. He'll try to go after Cuckoo on the Enigma. He's got the Enigma down. Meanwhile on the backside, Arena has caught 2 of them. Tim's is gone. Carl will get his way out. As IG, they see the buyback. They try to retreat though. Carl is still going. DP's immediately from IG. Oh, the hook shot. It's blocked by Carl. Oh no. How do IG TP all heroes out like that? They TP'd everyone.
They TP everyone, but they lost Aegis. This is still a really hard time for IG. They're 2 racks behind. They only find 1 racks. Sure, you might have wanted more punishment out here from the side of Blacklist, but they're still in the commanding position in this game despite being 8k down. Those are 2 lanes IG has to constantly shove back in. And for IG's part, I mean, that mess in the Roche bit biting them back. And they also took cheese on Tim. They've still got this backup here. It's no Aegis, but you're more than happy. You take away the secondary life and dust. You know Emo is not going to be looking for insane plays for 4 minutes because he bought back. And now IG has to play a little bit safe. Like, they want to be aggressive, but they lose everything they caught from Roche. Only find 1 racks to equalize. There's still a tier 2 up top. It's Blacklist that I think are still in command here. They just need to be a little bit cautious of the double global silence coming out from QYQX, but if they can anticipate that, then you're going to be in a pretty good spot in these fights.
It's getting to be a very tense game here, John. 55 minutes in. Win probability has been sitting at 74% or so for such a long time for IG. Like, we've been around this throughout this game, but they are still in it. Prop for them. IG desperately trying to pull off this game 1 victory, but we are approaching that 1 hour mark very, very soon, and we know how much those items can change everything. They will hunt around the dire triangle. They'll get some D wards off here, Blacklist, but IG are slowly moving their way into the dire triangle. Blacklist, they're gonna hang around. They'll wait for the fight. There's plenty full buybacks available though. Emo does not have one. Neither does PYW. So if they both go down, it'll be a 5v3s. They're jumping right into Cuckoo. Lasso's out. KP, he's found 2 targets again. And the black hole, it's going to be committed. They found the silencer. QIQX, he'll buy back to cancel immediately. Is now it's complete chaos in the dire triangle. Raven's gone. How does Raven go down? They've even lost Bosku. How?
That looked so good for Blacklist as well. KP, he got the axe upgrade off that Roche, but they don't manage to find the burst damage. They take care of the silencer, and it just falls apart from there. Like, Raven's
he never got Sunder off. He has double Sunder.
He popped the BKB, got chain stunned once it faded, couldn't get the refresh off. Maybe just getting chain bashed as well. True to BKB by that full abyssal here from Dust.
IG are playing this fantastically, John. Like, they lose a silencer, immediate buyback to cancel the black hole, and yeah, IG, the fact that they still make that team fight work is incredible. As they are forced to back away again, I think that the lasso, KP, another 2-man lasso into the dream coil. Calvo, he does get stunned up. It's not going to be enough yet. KP trying to break the lashes, or rather the leech. As IG, they are running. They're going to be okay.
Dire's middle tower.
How many more lassos does KP need to land before Blacklist capitalize? You tell me, John.
They need Raven around. They need to keep stalling for the buybacks. The cooldown on this lasso is also ridiculous. 37 seconds every single time. KP can just keep trying to stall like this.
I mean, he must have lassoed at least 2,000 people in this game so far. It just feels like nobody's dying. Like, you've got Carl there, but this puck is dealing nowhere near enough damage. You do indeed need Raven. Zip in, Hex is out, they've caught Carl. Glimmer Cape is going to buy a bit of space, but there's a nullifier. Jung Yu jumping in as well, but they miss out. The puck is fine. 58 minutes almost into this game 1. So much tension between these two teams, considering you lose this first game, you've really got nothing left to play for. Here we go. They'll take the outpost. 2 more minutes for the 60-minute mark. IG desperately trying to stop this game. before that time. Those tier 5 items, they can just change the whole game. Just flip it completely on its head. Like they're the kind of items where just the net worth doesn't matter anymore, you know? It's like these tier 5 items just make no sense. If they do come out, that is. Of course, Roshan's going to be showing us when it does respawn in 40 seconds to boot. So you've got a lot of action in the next couple minutes if the game does continue.
Got some protection now for Carl. Does have Lincoln's up and running. Pinning down the puck's going to be a lot tougher. A 9-second cooldown Lincoln's. That seems pretty balanced for him to have with the Octarine and Spell Prism up. And this puck is actually really hard to pin down. Just again with Octarine and Spell Prism. With a level 25 up, these team fights are awkward. And even just Cuckoo with a Midnight Pulse, when he drops it in the creep wave, they can stall for an infinite amount of time. But they have to stay their own high ground here, IG. They're 1 racks away from the Megas.
Oh, Emo. Can they break the Lincolns of the Storm? KP is waiting for a nice lasso. Zip forward. Emo saw him for a moment. They will get the Hex off, but KP is just fine as the hookshot does miss. IG are here to defend the top lane, but Blacklist, they will happily back off. I don't think they want the fight in this area. I believe they just wanted IG to rotate and defend. They will get what they asked for. They even get away with a tier 3 tower, so not bad at all for Blacklist. And IG, well, they're probably going to be happy to hold on to this top racks because they don't want to be up against Megas. Blacklist are 1 racks away from having those Megas up. As Emo, TP's bot lane looking for Carl by himself. Carl will jaunt away, back towards his team now. Just skipping the creep wave to ensure the bot lane does not get forced in. And now we're at that 60-minute mark. Tier 5 items, Jonathan. Let's see him. In fact, hold that thought because Lasso's out. Dust, he's been caught. That's a huge target. Dust. BKB's up. Tim's jumps in with a hook shot. But nobody's going in. Nobody wants to fight. Everyone from Blacklist will just run. Maybe they were hoping to bait out a global silence, but it never comes in. They're still looking at that top lane. Blacklist, it's 60 minutes. Go farm the items. IG could do the exact same, and I think they're going to try.
They've got better reach down to that bot lane area. Tim slowly getting that work done on the camps, but it's a clockwork farming up here. Mike, not the quickest process.
Oh my goodness, they're so unlucky. They've killed like 4 camps and nothing came out of it yet. Emo, in the meantime, he's got a Stygian Desolator now. As Lasso comes out, they've got PYW. Aeon Disc is going to be procced. Emo tries to jump in, trying to find himself a Hex target. PYW is going to survive as Raven gets caught out. They've got the Hex, but the Black Hole is there, immediately cancelled off by QIQX. No chance for Cuckoo to get the Black Hole channel as KP is being followed down. Cuckoo's been caught to boot. They've lost 2 of them. They've lost a 3rd, in fact. Tim's has been caught. They'll slow him down. In fact, Raven is still around. He'll pop the Metamorphosis, trying to fight back, but he needs to run. Even Carl's been caught in the park. Disaster for Blacklist Rivalry. As IG will back off. There are 2 other buybacks available on Blacklist, but they're probably going to need to commit these. And they are yet to take some tier 5 items.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. And you know, you look at IG's tier 5, and Stygian Desolator on a Storm isn't really ideal. You know, you probably wanted something like a Mirror Shield here just to protect, but gets the confidence to come in. They don't get the chain control they'd want in Blacklist, and they don't respect that global silence here.
Oh, look at this, John. PYW, right-click techies. He got the plus 252 damage. Yeah, he's got the level 25 talent with Pirate Tap.
And the oh my god. End it. End it, PYW.
PYW is going to end the game for us here.
Incoming.
He's a universal hero as well, John. It's time to change up your item build, PYW.
Look at it.
Boom. Boom.
Good god.
One of the worst attack animations I've ever seen on any hero in the history of Dota. But it's working. Into the mid-tier 4s they go. Raven immediately caught. He cannot die. He's got buyback available, but he doesn't want to commit it like this. He is down. Buyback is incoming. Metamorphosis is on cooldown for 60 seconds, though. A very awkward position. IG backing off at a double lasso. KP again trying to save the game for his team. He found both supports, QIQX, PYW, both trying to back off, but it seems like QIQX will go down as PYW being body blocked up by Tims. Can't make it out. They've been left behind. IG will sacrifice their supports as they are not feeling confident going for tier 4 towers. And Blacklist, they have a chance to go get the tier 5 items. Go get the tier 5s. There's no buyback available on the silencer at least, so maybe you could try for the black hole initiation now. Why are they not farming these items, John? I don't understand.
I have no clue. Look at Xiang Yu. When he's on the cliff, Jesus Christ, he covers the screen.
He's a big boy.
Careful about stomping some trees from...
Farm the items!
No, they want the Roche. The buyback does come out, so suddenly Blacklists aren't comfy.
It's an episode of Attack on Titan here, John. Look at this. This Mars is just climbing the wall right now. Well, this doesn't seem fair. Cue the OST. My goodness. Force boots is what we get here for Raven. Not the item I was expecting, but yeah, it is a sad item to get.
At the least he can bail himself out. Hurricane Pike plus Force Boots, so catching out Raven with a BKB up is going to be a lot harder. They should be able to go for Roche. Blacklist fully back off. They're still within the area. They've got the vision from Tims, but Roche is not going to take too long. Someone needs to stop this.
I can't believe this. I can't believe IG is getting away with this. I mean, IG, props to them. Obviously, they do have the buybacks to play off, so Blacklist are not going to risk their lives at all. They'll take the time to farm up those tier 5s. There's your Aegis coming out for IG. They'll get an Axe Blessing as well on Emo, so now the AoE Vortex, the blue hole is available. Seastone being picked up here for Carl.
Dyer's middle tower is
Book of Shadows for Tims. Not to be mistaken with Book of the Dead, Jonathan. Which is the best item in the game. Cuckoo is still yet to pick one up. So is KP's got a tier 5 token. What's KP picking?
I wish we could see. Okay,
Book of the Shadows as well. Okay.
It's a good save mechanic, to be fair. Like, you can definitely save a few big heroes. You can save yourself if you're being jumped.
Cuckoo will take the Book of Death. Book of the Dead, I guarantee it. He gets the item, he'll take it. I know him.
For what purpose?
What do you mean for what purpose, John? There's one Rax left for Megas. He'll take it. Come on, Cuckoo, go farm the tier 5 token. I believe in you, sir.
They have the token. It's ready to go. He's just not picking it up. Yeah, they have the last token available.
A Ninja Gear is really good for Enigma, to be fair. So maybe he doesn't actually want it.
You can't tell me it's better than Book of the Dead.
Well, it's not, John. Let's be honest.
That's what I want to hear. Very nice, very nice. See, look at this. Mirror Shield out for QIQX. I can't believe that you didn't get Mirror Shield up on Emo. That's really unfortunate. That would be the safety net.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you, John?
Oh my god.
I know Cuckoo. I'm Cuckoo.
The madman. No.
I am Master Cuckoo's student, Jonathan. I'm his disciple. I know. I know what's coming.
Cuckoo. Cuckoo. No. Cuckoo. They can rat out these tier 4s, to be fair, so I guess that's a threat. IG have to be on point with what they do for going forward, because the illusions are coming out. The Book of the Dead is there. Tier 4s are exposed.
Jump in. Lotus Orb was out though. KP, he's trapped himself up with that lasso. KP is down. No buyback available. Already one gone for Blacklist. They'll jump Carl as well. Carl, he's going to survive for now, but the tier 3 tower top lane is gone. They are fighting without their Batrider. And KP, he's been such a problem for IG this whole game. Without KP around, I don't know if they can actually defend this. They're very reliant on Cuckoo landing the biggest black holes of his life. But the thing is, without catching the silencer, there's no chance of getting these off. Jump in on Emo. They've cancelled the TP usage of the Storm, but he's happy to fight back. He'll move it onto the puck. Carl gonna try and Wind Waker away. Does juke out the God's Rebuke.
Raven,
Does jump
Raven's
back
going
down
for the
towards the
Ancient.
south.
Raven's going
Meanwhile,
for the
the Ancient, Raven's going right for the head. Black Hole is out. Can they get it done? The Ancient, half HP right now, moving back in. The Eidolon's doing all the work. Raven's jumping back in as well. Ancient lower than half HP. I think they've got it.
What's happening?
Raven, they may have done it. It seems like they have. Blacklist have done it.
Oh my God.
Can't believe what I'm seeing. Blacklist have done it, Jonathan.
God.
And you know why they do it, Jonathan?